welcome. You're watching NewsX and I'm Megha Sharma. There are as many as 10 devotees that are feared dead in the Maha Kumbh Mela. There are over 30 people who have been injured. There was a stampede that broke out at the Maha Kumbh Mela in Prayagraj in the early hours today ahead of the Amrit Snan on Mani Amavasya. According to officials, some barriers were broken on the Sangam routes which led to a stampede-like situation. As per the eyewitnesses, the UP police was quick to intervene and ensure that the injured devotees were rushed to the hospitals. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, President Draupadi Murmu, the Union Home Minister Amit Shah and many other leaders have paid condolences to the devotees who lost their loved ones in the stampede. UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has urged people to not move towards the Sangam nose and take bath at the ghats near the Ganga. He has also urged people not to pay attention to rumours. I'm going to start my conversation. Joining me on the telecast right now is Arzu. Arzu right now is at Prayagraj and she is covering the Maha Kumbh festivities for us. Arzu, a sad day today. There have been at least 8 people who have died, several others that have been injured. What are the preparations that the Uttar Pradesh police and the Uttar Pradesh administration doing for the relatives of the people who have died in this tragic incident?
Well, if we talk about after the stampede-like situation occurred here at the Maha Kumbh Mela near the Triveni Sangam, where the lakhs of devotees were reaching to take a holy dip on the occasion of the Mani Amavasya in the early morning, in the early hours, then such situation occurred. As we also talked with the eyewitness victims, they told that they were coming from the one side after taking a holy dip, and on the other side, other devotees were going to take a holy dip, and the clash happened between both of them, and a lot of devotees that were already sleeping on the ground so that they can be the first one to take a holy dip, and that's why they took a halt there only near this Triveni Sangam, where they have to take a holy dip in the morning. So that's why the devotees who were coming here stepped over them, and these type of incident happened, due to which the chaos occurred, and there was the announcement that the officials were continuously made, and also a video is now also getting viral. We also have that video in which we can clearly hear the official claiming that jo sove hai wo khovat hai, jo jage hai wo pawat hai, means there were clearly indication that the devotees should go and take a holy bath. They have a time, even yesterday evening after 7 p.m. it was announced that the Muhurat, the Shubh Muhurat of Mani Amavasya has begun. The devotees are advised to go to the Sangam Ghat and take a holy dip, but the public were gathering near the ghat, but they were not going because they have to say that we will be going after 12 a.m. So these were the chaos that happened. But yes, if we talk about the police administration, they have been quickly rushed to the hospital. There were, if I mention, there were around 50 ambulances that were deployed to provide the emergency services to the devotees attending the Maha Kumbh Mela 2025 when the incident occurred, and those ambulances rushed with a green corridor created to ensure a shift transportation. So a green corridor was used, and in that is a particular corridor that is being made for the ambulances, and through that moment to moment the ambulances passed away, and around 50 ambulances have been deployed to take the injured people from the Sangam Ghat to the central hospital at the sector 2 Maha Kumbh Mela area. Also, if we talk about these ambulances have made over 100 rounds to save lives, with expert doctor reaching the scene within 2 to 3 minutes. So all the expert doctors were present in the central hospital to treat those injured, and that's why there might be a lot of lives that got saved. There were injuries, serious injuries that some of the devotees got in their legs, hands.
Yeah.
But yes,
do we have a number, Arzu? Do we know how many people are approximately injured, and which all hospitals have they been taken to?
Well, as I talk about the numbers, DIG is going to hold a press conference very soon, and then the number will be might be released. But as of now, what we have gathered from our sources, that around 25 to 30 people have got the injury, and as you mentioned also, around 8 people that that died in the stampede like situation that occurred. But yes, if we talk about the data, this might be released because the press conference will be held in the Mela area at the also conference room.
Did you get a chance to speak to any of the injured or the family members of the injured or those who have deceased? I understand you were also speaking to the eyewitnesses. If you could explain to us, according to them, what exactly happened.
Well, Megha, as I earlier mentioned, I talked with a lady who got injury in her leg, and she said that there was a lot of people together, those who have come to take a holy dip in the Triveni Sangam all together. And the situation occurred that from the one side, there were the people who were coming to take a holy bath, and on the other side, on a single road, there were two people who coming from the different direction. One to take a holy dip, and other were coming after taking a holy dip, and the clash happened, the chaos happened, and someone also told there were some people behind who were pushing them. So the situation that occurred like that when the chaos happened, because there was the gathering of more than lakhs of devotees who were all present at the Sangam Ghat. In fact, Chief Minister himself asked the devotees to please avoid going to only single ghat. There are several ghats, more than 20 ghats have been arranged by the government. The preparation on all the ghats have been made for the devotees only, and they are advised to go each and every ghat which are closer to their camp. So these type of
so those are the kind of precautions that have been made, those are the kind of arrangements that have been made. But despite that, there was a massive rush to take the Amrit Snan at that particular place on the particular occasion, which is very sacred and holy in Hindu tradition, and which led to this stampede. Thank you, Arzu, for joining me on the telecast, and we'll keep coming back to you as and when there are more developments. We're getting to know, as per my correspondent, that a press conference is also going to be held by the Uttar Pradesh police at Prayagraj very, very shortly, where more details are going to be released by the administration, by the police. On the telecast with me is Jaya Bharti. She's a Hindu scholar. Jaya, such a sad, unfortunate event that has taken place in the wee hours of the morning today. There are at least 8 to 10 people that are feared dead. There are several others who are injured. Right now, the only purpose, the sole aim of the Uttar Pradesh government is going to be to ensure all sorts of facilities, all sorts of amenities, any help that is required to the family members after having borne this heavy loss.
Yes, and I think we have been witnessing many kumbhs, and this is not an unprecedented, even though it's very sad. And while I was on air, I was in a TV show when breaking the news at 5 o'clock. Since 5 o'clock, I've been on the show, and there were certain live coverages which I saw, and the police there was asking people very politely, respectfully to move, and there were people who were actually manhandling the police people. So what I observed is that administration can only make arrangements. It cannot discipline people. It is for us, when we go there, how to discipline ourselves and ensure that we don't only ensure safety for ourselves but for others. And I've seen that this happened in the midnight, and by the midday everything had been normalized, and there was quick action, not only in terms of taking people, the injured people who needed immediate medical attention. Everything was there on the spot, and also that everything normalized. Whatever chaos had been taken has and was there. Everything has been settled. The Akhada Parishad announced that they are not going to take the dip, but the situation was expedited to be normalized in such a swift manner that by the afternoon we had all the akhadas taking the dip. Having said that, I really appreciate the administration, but I want to urge to the people that a spot, a timing is not as important as your shraddha, as your devotion. So when you're going there, ensure that your shraddha and your devotion is more important, and there is no reason to hassle, to fight, and to push your way through to a certain spot. make sure that you are going there to take the benefit and you ensure safety of yourselves and others.
Okay. I also have with me Dr. P.S. V. Rao. Dr. Rao, unfortunate incident that has taken place while the Uttar Pradesh police and the government and the administration have been doing whatever they can. There are 10 people who have died. It's a difficult situation to come to terms with for the families, and the Uttar Pradesh government, the chief minister himself came out and said there is going to be everything that is going to be provided, every effort is going to be taken by the government, by the administration, by the police to ensure the safety and security of the pilgrims.
Namaskar, Megha, and to all people who are watching this show. Megha, we have been together after the Hathras tragedy, after the Tirupati tragedy. On all those occasions, you were anchoring the show. And it is sad that we continue to have these problems. I fully agree with what Jaya said, that we need to be disciplined. The reason is that when there is it is not the size of the crowd, it is the density of the crowd which I keep talking about. See, when there is 1 to 2 persons per 2 square feet, one person needs about 2 square feet of space, adult standing. And when you have a density more than 5 people per square meter, then the situation starts getting bad. Because beyond that density of crowd, you can have people getting crushed while standing itself. They don't need to fall and with people stamping on them. You can get crushed just standing. And once someone collapses, then like a domino effect, the stampede occurs. The other problem with these, some enthusiasts at the back of the crowd, when there is a crowd crush, anyone at the back trying to get ahead pushes people in front. Then again the domino effect occurs and the people get crushed. And like she said, just because a particular hour and a particular spot is considered most holy, you push and pull and remain, you really, what happens is the people in front have nowhere to go, because there has to be a very disciplined movement, so that the people in the front and the people at the back of a crowd are moving at the same speed. If the people at the back try to move faster than the people in the front, you are definite to have a stampede. And this is the tragedy of this whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. That's the tragedy of it. Now, also the question arises that you rightfully said that, you know, there are these hours and days and occasions which are considered to be more holy than the others during the entire period of Kumbh that is taking place. And then there is also, like I said, you know, today there are as many as 5 crore people that have taken a dip in the holy Ganga, and that's in the span of less than 24 hours. In the span of the last week, when the Maha Kumbh started up until today, there have been over 20 crore people that have already taken the holy dip in the Ganga during the Maha Kumbh period. How do you feel is the right step that needs to be taken by the government, by the administration, by the police to convince the people that these advisories be followed, these precautions be taken note of, that, you know, do not go to the Sangam nose, for example, to take the dip simply because you think, and this is as per our holy scriptures and traditions, more holy than the other places in the Ganga, when the akhada chiefs, the akhadas themselves, the sadhus travel from all the places in the world to then come on that very period of time and actually go to that particular sacred place.
See, this incident today itself has, you look at the response of the akhadas. They literally, not only postponed at one point in time, they had cancelled the entire dip at that particular moment. So, the people who are living in the religious or the faith order 24 hours into 365, so they are telling that, it is more important to be wiser, to have wisdom rather than, being getting into that mundane process of it. So they did not insist that, oh, we will miss that particular spot, or we will miss that particular occasion or time. So even if you refer to the scriptures, so in the scriptures the most important thing is the bhava. So what exactly is your bhava? So if your bhava is there, so it has been one way mentioned that even if you cannot go to the kumbh and you take a bath at your home, but you remember, there's a shlok that says Gange cha Yamune chaiva Godavari Saraswati Narmade Sindhu Kaveri Jalasmin Sannidhim Kuru. That remembering the holy waters and connecting with your consciousness, it gives you the equal, punya. So if you understand the wisdom in the scriptures, and if you see the what discipline the khadas today, the sadhus and sannyasis have shown. So there should be no haste to go to a particular spot and at that moment. But yes, if you are at the kumbh, so the divine energy is everywhere in that area. So you should have patience. You should focus and concentrate your energy and take a dip wherever you are. And I don't think that moreover there is a role of administration. Administration has already done enough. I believe that the faith leaders, the people who guide people spiritually and on the dharmic matters, should also take note of this thing. And even before, for such events in future, these people, some advisory, some sort of a communication should be widely sent out to people, that if you are coming to such an event, if you are coming to such a gathering, if you are coming for such pilgrimage, this is the kind of order, this is the kind of discipline, this is the kind of behavior we should be executing to ensure that we don't only take the benefit of that divine confluence or congregation, but we also ensure that it is executed in an orderly manner.
Okay, Dr. Rao, coming to you, and again, if we revisit the entire sequence, it's a painful crowd crush that has happened. It has happened in the early morning period, and as Jaya said, that even the Akhada chiefs were cognizant of the situation, and they decided to cancel the Shahi Snan, the Amrit Snan, and now they have proceeded further after the crowd has been dispersed from the area. What more measures can be taken by the police to ensure that such a situation does not happen, that the crowd is controlled by the administration and the police?
Megha, this I discussed with you earlier also on the previous stampedes. The point is that you can't allow more than a certain density, that is more than 5 people in a square meter. And the only way you can do that is to prevent more than that number of people to get into that area in a particular time. You spread out the people over a larger area, like they have already mentioned that there are 20 ghats. Why should everyone be squeezing into one ghat? Second, you have to ensure that they are spread out over a period of time, so that not everyone gets in at the same time. And thus increases the density. And they are using loudspeakers. I am aware of that. They're also using drones, and they're trying to communicate with people, saying that take it easy, relax, you will get your chance, you will get your opportunity. But if you have a few people who are in one tearing hurry, then the police will have to try and control them. And these you can't allow anyone to come in the reverse direction when you have made it mandatory that people will move in one direction towards the ghat and in another away from the ghat. If you allow some indisciplined person to walk in the opposite direction, you are going to have a problem. So this is not
but then
permissible.
How does the police make arrangements to control a crowd of 5 crore people? They have visited Prayagraj on a single day, 5 crore of them, and this population is more than twice the size of the population of Delhi. This population is concentrated in an area which can be equivalent to any small locality in Delhi. So how it's just physically impossible to actually control the crowd, anything could happen. Maybe a child falls down, maybe a woman faints, maybe a man falls down in that entire crowd. And then if the crowd moves forward, pushing and shoving happens. How is it in police's control to ensure that the 5 crore are safely escorted to the Ganges to take the dip?
Yes, that is where you have to prevent more than a certain number of people into entering those corridors which are going. And you will have to also ensure at the other end, at the ghat end, that people don't try to come back in the same route, but they come by a different route. But there is a limit to how much police, or even if you have army there, how far can they manage? You have to have the crowd understand it. They are using loudspeakers. They are trying to make people understand. And like Jaya said, the people who are the sadhus and others have seemed have a far more understanding of the situation than some of these people who are unnecessarily getting excited and enthusiastic. And remember, in a crowd, there will be people who are totally irrational. And even not only in religious gatherings, in music gatherings and so in sports gatherings, there are some people who like to be, who get so excited, they want to be in the middle of the crowd and start jumping, dancing, etc. These are people who need to be identified with your drones and with your cameras and pulled out and disciplined. There is no other way.
Okay.
Otherwise, we are going to have this repeatedly.
Jayapati, this event that happens, this is the largest congregation of humanity across the globe, where people are coming, celebrities are coming, public figures from all walks of life coming and visiting Maha Kumbh. Can there be stricter measures taken? Can it be more organized? Can there be advisories issued? Can there be constant communication be had with the pilgrims at all points of time, for example via an app or a web portal where information can be provided on a real-time basis?
I see there are two things. I'm going to make it really quick. So one thing is that we have to understand that it's not possible to, you look at the people, there are people who are very simple, who are not really that educated, there are people from the rural background, they're very simple people. So there are a lot of people who might not even go and, browse a website. So there is not just one, but there would be more than one channel of communication open, and not only during the event, much before the event, to let people know that, how they have to visit the place, how they have to, why is it important to follow the instruction of the police people. And even when there is a religious gathering, if there is a cricket match or if there is something else, what people could, you could actually lathi charge, police can use force. Here they are devotees. And there is a lot of political pressure on the administration. The moment you try take a lathi and discipline a devotee, there'll be a hue and cry. Oh, what are they doing to the bhakt? What are they doing to the people? The pilgrims who are coming, they are using force. This is their administration. So I have seen there at Kumbh that the police and administration are walking a really tight rope. It's not only about the ensuring that it is executed, conducted well, better arrangements, more security, more health and medical attention, everything. But they also have to conduct themselves. They are totally under the scanner all the time. So we have to understand their limitations.
Yeah.
And there have to be more stakeholders in the place, not only the government and administration.
Yes.
Every, religious orders, religious institutions, people who communicate with the public on regular basis, those instruments have to be put into place. They have to be issued advocacy manuals that they can communicate this to the people they are connected to way earlier, months before, or at least a month before, a week before, then people are arriving, identifying which areas coming more, and using the mass communication methods to make sure that people are aware of the kind of discipline they have to follow to be safe and ensure others are safe too.
Okay. On that note, I'm out of time. I thank all of you for joining me on the telecast, and I'll take a short break. Thanks for watching NewsX.